Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. Finny here from Finny's Homebrew Emporium. I'm just started to mash. Well, it's started to mash in. I'm mashing in about don't know, about 50 minutes ago. So here's the cooler. Oh, this will fall off if I open it. Well, anyway, it's basically going to be an all-grain version of the pale ale, the New Zealand pale ale that we do in the shop, the Kiwi pale ale. So it'll be Nelson Sauvin and Southern Cross with a little bit of Warrior as bittering. So I'm going to use Workhorse as the yeast. I just want it to be really neutral. Just an easy drinking summer beer, about 4.5%, hopefully 4.5ish. And I've added the salts to the mash, so hopefully the pH will be right. Get the most out of the out of the mash and out of the hops. I've still not done the solutions for my pH monitor, so I need to get onto that this week so I can start testing these things that I'm trying to do with the salts. I suppose we can go and have a look at my hop plant. Come with me. It's a really windy day today, so hopefully you can hear me over the wind. So this is the Southern Cross. It's gone all the way up. It's going across the roof as well. What I'm going to try and do today is get another rope from here up to that up there, and then one up to the corner of this, and see if we've got plenty of runners down here, so I can just train two more up, and hopefully we'll get a nice yield from that. And then if you come this way, this was where the rear whacker was, but we sent it to the commons as you saw. But check it out, that, if it focus, is a wee hop plant. So I'm guessing that should be rear whacker coming through there. So we've managed to get one still going up here. So I don't know how that's going to grow, but we'll let it, because there's nothing else in that pot at the moment. So we'll let it run. So I'll get back to the brewing, and I guess you'll see me during that process hopefully. So I'm just starting. Let me just run you through what I've got. So I've got my reservoir of water, which is currently sitting at, well, hopefully that will focus in for you. Is it? 76.4 anyway. That's a good starting temperature. And then we've got the watering can, which I use to just sprinkle on top. I don't have a starching arm, so we're a bit low tech. But then we're going down and into the bucket. I was watching someone the other day who did this, which was a good idea because it gives you know exactly how many litres you've got. In the bottom there, I'm just going to slow this down a wee bit so I can get some more water in. So yeah, that's how I'm currently doing it. I'm sure it will change again as I keep changing everything. Now I just come to the boil. As you can see, I'm using a different pot today. This is supposed to be a 30 litre pot, but there's only 26 litres in there, and it's right at the top. So you can see we've got a very full pot. It's been boiling for probably about 2 minutes now. What I'm going to do is, one of the things I learned at Birvana from Joe when I was at the homebrew thing, is I'm going to just chuck 1 or 2 pellets into the into this, and the idea is, so I've just got a couple of pellets, and the idea is that the oils will release from the pellets and coat sort of the top, so then it won't boil over as much. It will just break that surface tension. So hopefully, I've got my water here just in case it starts to try and boil over. What we can then do is turn it back up again and have a bit more of a flame going, because at the moment I've got very little sort of yellowy flame, which is a bit crap. It's the first time I've used this burner. I'm not entirely impressed with it, so I'll try to give it a bit more juice, maybe a pellet or 2 more. So hopefully that will just start to break that surface tension, so I'm not too worried about when I put in the rest of the hops. We had a slight boil over, just because I wasn't watching it when it was coming up to the boil, because it was taking a while. But you need to have a nice rolling boil going on there, so I'll leave it here and get out of this greenhouse because it's freaking hot. Right, so we're just transferring. You can see it's looking pretty clear. There's the hydro sample. It's come out, I think, slightly higher. I can't really read it at the moment, but it looks like 105.2, 105.3, when it should have been about 105.0, but it looks good. Looks good, looks really good. Hopefully we've got enough of it, which we'll see in a minute. I can always dilute if necessary, bring it back up to the right amount. It tastes pretty good. And hopefully the salt additions have worked nicely. I was aiming for about 100 parts per million calcium, about 150 sulfate and 100 chloride. We've got those sulfate and chloride the right way around. So it should be bitter, but not too bitter with those salt additions. And obviously the extra bit of calcium is great for flocculation, yeast health and all that. So fingers crossed it all works out. So I'll carry on transferring this. I was going to try and bottle up my mead today, but time's run away with me, it's dinner time. So alright, take care of yourselves and I'll catch you soon. Alright, so a lot of the things I've been looking at recently is water. So I got myself a decent set of scales that measures to 0.1. And I've started playing around with, the calcium chloride, calcium sulfate, chalk, Epsom salts, those sort of things. Try and build up the profile for the water, which is better. Christchurch water is really soft. It doesn't have a lot of calcium in it, so you need to add it back in. So what I've done, I'm probably really dark there. There you go. Can you see me now? So what I've done, I've just set my mash. Here it is. My little thing. It's at 65.5. That's for my hop-wired clone for our next edition of Clone Wars. And as it's an IPA, I wanted to make sure I get the bitterness right. So I'm trying to aim around 100 parts per million calcium, 200 sulfates and 100 chlorides. So it's just a ratio I picked up from one of the brew network things for, I can't remember which brewery it was now, their IPA, that's what they're sort of aiming at. So I've added some salts into the mash, and if we can see through here, so that will probably come down a wee bit with the mash. The temperature is currently 27 for that, this little bit that's in the bottom, but we're at 5.4, so that range that you want for the beers is around 5.4 to 5.6 at room temperature, whereas which is down around 5.2 for mash temperature. So seems to work quite well, that bit. I might do another mash tomorrow and not add any salts, and see where we go. This is only an 8 SRM beer. If you look at Christchurch water, the one that would get you down into that region, the SRM would be around 13 to sort of 16, around that area. So hopefully these salt additions make a difference, especially to the hop utilisation, mash efficiency and all that. But the crucial part with the calcium, having that at the right level, sorry, I'll just set you down, is for yeast health. You want to get, we've only got 12 parts per million here in Christchurch, so for flocculation, yeast health, and its vibrancy, you really need to bump it up a wee bit. So it just seems to be for a balanced beer in Christchurch, you'd want to add equal parts of calcium chloride and calcium sulfate. If you want to go a bit more towards the bitter, increase the sulfates. So interested to see how this goes over this brew, and the others. I'm trying to, now I've got my dilution fluids to reset the pH monitor. I'll be doing this for every brew now and see how we go, and see if we're getting the right areas. So I might take portions of the, I should have done on this one, but taking portions of the mash before and after adding the salts. But we'll do that for next brew. Alright, well, I'll carry on. Any questions? Give me a shout. There you go. I've had something turn up in the post, which is sitting right next to you.